Hello, my name is Nathan Peterson and I am a licensed clinical social worker. Today we are going to go over the treatment for ROCD or relationship OCD. Before we do that, if you haven't watched the other relationship OCD video that I have that explains what it is, make sure you do that first and then come to this treatment part. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. You're going to miss out on other videos that I have that are about mental health issues such as OCD, anxiety, and so forth. A quick overview of relationship OCD is this. An individual may worry or have crippling doubt about their partner, about their relationship, about their spouse. Worry that they're going to be stuck forever in this relationship, that they made the biggest mistake of their life because of some flaw that their partner has. Often, our OCD will make the person question everything about themselves and everything about their spouse or friend or partner to make sure that everything is going to be okay in their relationship. Because inside, they don't feel okay. They feel anxious, they feel distressed. Their brain will not stop thinking about that one thing that their partner does. Questions like, do I really love my partner? Are we really meant to be? Am I good enough for my partner? Do they deserve somebody else? I just noticed that somebody else is attractive. Does that mean that I don't really love my spouse or my partner or my friend? I can have thoughts about actually cheating on my partner, so that must mean that this relationship is probably not meant to be, or I don't really love them. Last time we kissed, I didn't really feel anything, and so maybe I don't really love this person anymore, or possibly I'm not attracted to them anymore. Questions like, do they really love me? I didn't really feel turned on last night, so something must be wrong. So the treatment for ROCD is exposure and response prevention. This means essentially that we are going to expose you to the uncertainty of your thoughts, of all your questions, of everything that I just said. So going back to some of the questions that individuals may have, the most common one is, am I really attracted to my partner? We would say, you know what? I may or may not be. Or, you know what? I probably am not attracted to my partner. I probably made the biggest mistake of my life. Ooh, scary thought, right? But what I'm not going to do is say, I'm going to make sure I look at them and I'm going to make sure that I look at the feelings I have inside, that they're actually true and they're genuine, and I'm going to make sure I say I love you 5 times, because if I don't say that, then really I don't mean it, but I got to make sure they don't leave me. So I got to make sure they say certain words to me to make sure that I know this relationship is here and is here to stay and I made a good choice. We're not going to logic through this anymore. We're not going to try to figure it out. Instead, we're going to take the thought and we're going to leave it uncertain on purpose. Seek uncertainty. Don't wait for it to come to you, seek it. If you had a thought that says, wow, last time I kissed them, I didn't really feel anything, and now you're afraid of kissing them because it's going to verify to you that maybe you made the wrong choice, you're going to make sure you're doing a lot of kissing. You're going to step closer to the threat, closer to the thoughts, the feelings, everything that you don't really want to do, you're probably going to do. Your brain is going to say step away from the anxiety, and you're actually going to say I'm going to step closer to the anxiety, and I am going to risk that I made the wrong choice. So I know a lot of people say, well, what if I really did make the wrong choice? What if I'm not supposed to be with this person? Guess what? A lot of times we don't feel anxious about that. We may feel a little distress of like, oh, bummer. Can't believe I just chose the wrong person again. Now I got to start all the way over in this whole dating process. And ugh. But it's more just a thought, sometimes a feeling. Emotions can come into play, but it's not immense anxiety. It's not circling thoughts of intrusive thoughts that just keep coming. So since I'm not your therapist, I can't tell you specifically what to do, but I can tell you typically when it comes to ROCD, I have individuals track throughout the whole week. What are intrusive thoughts that I'm having? What are perceived threats that my brain's coming up with? Or what meaning am I putting to the intrusive thought? And what compulsions am I doing? So for instance, I'm sitting there next to my partner or my spouse, and I looked over at them, and I didn't feel anything. So my brain says, oh, you must not be in love with them anymore. And so the compulsion is, I'm going to sit a little bit closer to them to see if I can feel something. So I'm going to keep track of that intrusive thought, perceived threat or meaning, and the compulsion. So individuals may keep track of this on their phone or a piece of paper. Keep track of all of them throughout the week. And what they do is they come back in and we'll take all of those and we'll say, okay, well, let's rank them from 0 to 10, see which one is probably the most distressing for you. And we take all those and we build what's called a hierarchy. Some people call this a fear hierarchy, anxiety hierarchy. But the whole point is that we're going to create something that is gradual, something small that you can do that causes a little bit of distress, but you're going to practice doing this without doing the compulsion, using more of these uncertainty type of words, and you're actually seeking uncertainty. So an example of a hierarchy is this. My first step is to sit next to my partner or spouse and watch them eat chips. And while they're eating chips, I'm going to look at them and I'm going to say, oh man, I love the way they eat those chips. Look at them chomping on those things. Ooh, I probably made the wrong choice though in this relationship, because that's probably not something I can handle the rest of my life. That is great. Oh man, I love this. And we might even put in there that, hey, have your partner make sure they eat those chips extra loud on purpose. And we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. And you might pay attention to your distress or anxiety level, and it might be an 8 out of 10 is pretty high, or it could be a 4 out of 10, which is usually we want to start pretty small. So let's say it's 4 out of 10, and we'll say, okay, my distress is there. My brain is telling me you probably made the wrong decision. Well, let's sit with this feeling. Let's not try to figure it out or logic or anything, and keep saying those statements of like, probably made the wrong choice. Man, look at those chips he's eating. That's great. I love this feeling. And see, does that anxiety reduce on its own? It might not. But the whole point is that you are teaching your brain something new. You just taught your brain that this thing that is scary for me, that I don't want to look, I don't want to hear, I don't want to do any of that when my partner eats those chips, then I'm saying, cool, I'm embracing it. I'm stepping closer to it. It's scary. I feel uncomfortable, but guess what? It's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel anxiety. We got to change the relationship you have with anxiety. So let's say you can sit there and you can watch your partner eat those chips and you practice it again and again and again and again and again. I wouldn't say do this once a week and then you're going to be golden. You got to do this a lot. But if you can watch them do that exposure and eat those chips and you're like, it's kind of boring now, then guess what? We're going to move up to the next step. And the next step might be this. Look at pictures of somebody you find attractive and say, ooh, I find them attractive. I'm probably going to cheat on my partner or my spouse. That probably means that I don't love them anymore, but man, this person is handsome or this person is gorgeous. Look at that. Ooh, blue eyes. My partner has brown eyes. I wonder if I like blue eyes better. Whew, I probably do. I probably made the wrong choice. And guess what? When I'm saying this, I'm not making fun of individuals who have ROCD. I'm more mimicking the kind of behavior or thought or feeling that I want somebody to have when they're doing these exposures. The bully's standing up to you saying you need to be scared about this because they have brown eyes and you just like these blue eyes and you probably need someone with blue eyes in your life. And you're saying, you know what, you're right. I probably made the wrong choice. And guess what? That bully is going to scurry away. Because what else does it have? It's got no other power to get you. But the second you say, oh no, I think you're right, I can't believe I did that, and I need to pray, and I need to make sure that everything's okay, and I need to do all the compulsions, that bully is just laughing because it just got you. So a third step might look like this. When you're watching a movie with your partner, make sure you sit on the other couch. Don't sit next to them. Risk that they may feel disappointed, that they may feel like, I wonder what's wrong with them. I wonder why they don't like me today. Risk that maybe you made the wrong choice. Maybe they made the wrong choice in their relationship. Feel uncomfortable on purpose. Let the anxiety stay. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But teach your brain something new. Take the perceived threats and the meaning and focus as much as you can to bring them all to uncertainty. A next step might be don't text your partner the whole day. They're texting you, but you're sure as heck aren't going to text back because you're risking, again, that maybe they don't like you. Maybe they're going to get super angry that you didn't text them, and it could possibly happen. But if your brain says you need to make sure you text them every single hour to make sure that the relationship is still going to be strong and that they love you and that you love them, then we're not going to do it. Because you're only going to text somebody when you want to do it, not when you feel like you absolutely have to keep your relationship going. Some individuals may just take this to paper, another step, and say, I may or may not like my spouse. I may or may not like my partner. Probably made the wrong decision. I'm probably going to be suffering throughout my whole life because they eat chips that way. Whatever the perceived threat is, they might just write those all down and like smile as they're doing this and feel the discomfort and the anxiety and embrace it. We may purposely look for flaws in their partner and really focus on those. So whether it's somebody's stomach, whether it's somebody's eye, whether it's somebody's nose, somebody's hair, they're balding, whatever it is, and your brain's like, oh man, can I handle that the rest of my life? I can't stop looking at it. I wish that were different. We're going to look at it. We're going to take pictures of it. We're going to have that on the lock screen of your phone. We're going to have that everywhere. So you're going to look at that bald spot and you're going to say, I love that bald spot. Oof, probably made the wrong choice though with this relationship. Man, this is gonna be great. How many more years do I have of this marriage? Okay, this is gonna be wonderful. Oh, look at that spot they've got there. This is great, I love that. Maybe we turn it into a coloring page and we start coloring it. So as you can see, the attitude I'm taking with this treatment is not, okay, let's figure this out, let's logic it out, let's maybe like research online, how you know you love your spouse or your partner. We're not figuring it out anymore. We're stepping up to the anxiety, we're coming a little bit closer to it, and we're saying, cool, I had the thought, I had the feeling, cool, I'm accepting it. Thank you so much for giving me this thought or this opportunity right now, especially when it's tied to anxiety. But like I said, some individuals were like, so I gotta stay with my partner forever, even if it actually is the wrong thing. And guess what? A lot of times, when it's the wrong thing, you don't have to question too much. And I'm not trying to give people reassurance, but I'm saying when it is coupled with anxiety and these thoughts and they won't stop and they're consistent and prominent in somebody's life, this is probably ROCD. When you get with a therapist, they'll help you through this whole process. Sometimes individuals will have a really difficult time coming up with their own exposures. Who wants to come up with exposures where they're actually going to feel anxious on purpose? Hello. So for sure, seek a professional for this. It's totally worth it. Medications can also help with this OCD. A lot of individuals may take SSRIs or something like a Zoloft, Prozac, whatever it might be, but you need to ask a psychiatrist what is best for you. Some individuals say, I'm going to start with the exposure route first, and then if that doesn't seem to work, then I might add some medication and we'll see. But you know what? Each person's different. You got to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. But either way, one of the biggest things I want people to stop doing are the compulsions. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Do you struggle with ROCD? Have you done the treatment before? If you have, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, seek uncertainty. Often ROCD will help. So going back to some of these statements, am I attracted to my spouse or fart? But it's more of just a thought. Keep track in a little diary or diner.